Question 1. Which of the following best describes the adjuster's duty when handling a claim that involves potential conflicts of interest with the insured? A. Disclose the conflict to all parties involved and proceed with the claim after obtaining consent from the insured. B. Transfer the claim to another adjuster to avoid any potential bias in handling the claim. C. Continue handling the claim while ensuring that decisions are objective even if the conflict is not disclosed. D. Immediately close the claim file to prevent any further issues from arising due to the conflict. Answer. A. Disclose the conflict to all parties involved and proceed with the claim after obtaining consent from the insured. Explanation. The ethical duty of an adjuster, especially under the New Jersey Code of Ethics, mandates transparency and fairness in claim handling. When there's a conflict of interest, an adjuster must disclose this to both the insurer and insured to maintain trust and objectivity. New Jersey regulations require informed consent in such cases to protect the insured's rights and maintain ethical standards. Options B and D are not necessarily viable or standard practices, as conflicts can often be managed ethically without closing or transferring files, provided full disclosure is made. Option C is incorrect because it does not include mandatory disclosure, which is critical to ethical compliance. Question 2. Scenario-based. Mr. Roberts, an independent adjuster, is handling a claim for a policyholder, MS Jenkins, whose home suffered extensive water damage after a recent storm. During his investigation, Mr. Roberts discovers that MS Jenkins had previous claims related to similar damage, which raises potential concerns about repeated damage and policyholder awareness of recurring issues. What should Mr. Roberts prioritize in handling this claim? A. Deny the claim immediately due to the previous similar incidents. B. Conduct a thorough investigation into the cause of the recurring damage, including examining repair records from previous claims. C. Approve the claim under the assumption that storms are unpredictable and recurring damage is likely. D. Recommend that MS Jenkins switch insurance providers due to her history of claims. Answer. B. Conduct a thorough investigation into the cause of the recurring damage, including examining repair records from previous claims. Explanation. In cases of recurring damage, an adjuster is responsible for determining the underlying cause and ensuring that all information from prior claims is reviewed to assess if the damage might be due to preventable issues. By investigating repair records, Mr. Roberts can determine if the recurring damage was due to a lack of proper repairs or other avoidable circumstances. This investigation upholds his duty to properly assess the loss and potential policy exclusions. Option A would be premature without further investigation. Option C overlooks potential negligence or wear and tear exclusions. And option D is not within the adjuster's role or authority to advise on changing providers. Question 3. Under New Jersey's Fair Claims Practices Act, which of the following actions would be considered a violation of an adjuster's duty when processing a claim? A. Denying a claim without providing a specific reason to the insured. B. Providing a detailed explanation for denial of coverage. C. Paying a valid claim in full within 30 days of claim filing. D. Requesting additional documentation from the insured for a complicated claim. Answer. A. Denying a claim without providing a specific reason to the insured. Explanation. According to the Fair Claims Practices Act, adjusters must handle claims with transparency, which includes providing clear and specific reasons for any denial of coverage. This requirement ensures policyholders understand the basis for decisions and have the opportunity to address issues if applicable. Denying a claim without a reason is a violation of fair claims practices and can lead to regulatory penalties. Option B is correct and required as per fair practices. Option C aligns with timely claims settlement, and option D is legitimate when documentation is necessary to accurately assess the claim. Question 4. In New Jersey, when handling a claim involving subrogation, which of the following actions would be most appropriate for an adjuster to take? A. Immediately pursue legal action against any third party potentially responsible for the loss. B. Attempt to recover damages from a third party without notifying the insured of the subrogation process. C. Inform the insured about the subrogation process and seek recovery from the responsible third party on behalf of the insurer. D. Close the claim without pursuing subrogation if the insured has already been indemnified. Answer. C. Inform the insured about the subrogation process and seek recovery from the responsible third party on behalf of the insurer. Explanation. Subrogation allows an insurer to pursue a third party responsible for a loss after indemnifying the insured. The adjuster should inform the insured about the subrogation process, as this impacts their claim rights, and should work to recover damages from the responsible party. This action aligns with the insurer's right of subrogation as well as fair claims handling practices. Options A and B are improper without insured awareness, and D ignores the insurer's right to recovery through subrogation. Question 5. Scenario-based MS. Thompson files a claim for property damage after a fire at her restaurant. During the investigation, the adjuster, Mr. Lewis, learns that the fire department report lists as suspicious circumstances and notes signs of possible arson. How should Mr. Lewis proceed with the claim? A. Deny the claim immediately due to the potential for fraudulent activity. B. Place the claim on hold while thoroughly investigating the potential arson, including obtaining additional evidence and consulting with the fire department. C. Approve the claim based on the insurance policy without considering the fire department's report. D. Reduce the claim payout by half due to the uncertainty surrounding the cause. Answer. B. Place the claim on hold while thoroughly investigating the potential arson, including obtaining additional evidence and consulting with the fire department. Explanation. When there are suspicious circumstances, adjusters must carefully investigate any signs of fraud before approving or denying a claim. Mr. Lewis should gather more information to confirm or refute the fire department's findings. Immediate denial, as in A, would be premature, while C disregards the responsibility to ensure a claim's legitimacy. Option D is inappropriate, as an adjuster cannot arbitrarily reduce a payout without concrete justification. Question 6. Which of the following best describes the New Jersey adjuster's ethical duty in a case where confidential information about an insured's finances is obtained during a claim investigation? A. Retain the information indefinitely as part of the claim file regardless of its relevance. B. Share the information with the insurer and all related parties to expedite the claims process. C. Use the information only to the extent necessary for the claim and protect it from unauthorized access. D. Discard the information immediately to avoid any potential privacy concerns. Answer. C. Use the information only to the extent necessary for the claim and protect it from unauthorized access. Explanation. Confidentiality is a core ethical requirement for adjusters. In New Jersey, adjusters must limit the use of sensitive information strictly to claim-related purposes and ensure it is not accessible to unauthorized parties. Retaining irrelevant information or broadly sharing confidential data, options A and B, would violate the insured's privacy rights, while discarding the information, option D, may compromise necessary claim documentation. Question 7. If an adjuster in New Jersey is evaluating a claim involving a total loss of a commercial building due to covered peril, which of the following valuation methods is most likely to be appropriate? A. Depreciated replacement cost. B. Replacement cost value. C. Salvage value. D. Actual cash value. Answer. B. Replacement cost value. Explanation. For total losses of commercial properties, replacement cost value (RCV) is commonly used to determine the amount needed to rebuild the property without depreciation. This approach ensures the insured can restore their property to its previous condition. Option D, actual cash value, factors in depreciation, often resulting in a lower payout which may not fully cover replacement. Options A and C are generally inappropriate for total losses as they undervalue the restoration needs. Question 8. Under New Jersey's Unfair Claims Settlement Practices Act, which of the following would constitute an unfair claims practice by an adjuster? A. Offering a claim settlement that is lower than the policy limit without explanation. B. Investigating claims thoroughly to determine the extent of coverage. C. Requesting additional documentation to assess the legitimacy of a claim. D. Providing a clear written statement for denial when a claim lacks sufficient evidence. Answer. A. Offering a claim settlement that is lower than the policy limit without explanation. Explanation. The New Jersey Unfair Claims Settlement Practices Act requires adjusters to explain claim settlements, especially when offering an amount below the policy limit. A settlement without explanation may be viewed as deceptive or coercive. Options B, C, and D align with fair claims practices as they involve appropriate actions for accurate claim assessment and clear communication with the insured. Question 9, scenario-based. Mr. Green's auto repair shop sustains significant storm damage. He files a claim under his business owner's policy BOP for repairs. After reviewing the policy, the adjuster MS Lee notes that there is a coverage limitation for damage to outdoor property, and most of the damage involves the shop's outdoor signage, which is costly to replace. What should MS Lee prioritize in handling this claim? A. Immediately deny coverage for the outdoor signage as it is not covered by the BOP. B. Approve a full payout for all damages without considering the outdoor property limitation. C. Verify the specific language of the BOP and determine if an endorsement covers the signage while informing Mr. Green about any coverage limitations. D. Recommend Mr. Green modify his insurance coverage in the future for better protection. Answer: C. Verify the specific language of the BOP and determine if an endorsement covers the signage while informing Mr. Green about any coverage limitations. Explanation: an adjuster's responsibility includes interpreting the policy language accurately. MS. Lee should carefully review the BOP's outdoor property coverage and check for any endorsements that might cover signage. Denying the claim without verification, option A, or approving a full payout, option B, would be premature, while D goes beyond MS. Lee's role as adjusters do not advise on policy selection. Question 10. When investigating a personal injury claim in New Jersey, what is the primary factor an adjuster must evaluate to determine liability? A. The insured's ability to pay for damages. B. The extent of the insured's negligence in causing the injury. C. The severity of the claimant's injury alone. D. The claimant's insurance coverage. Answer: B. The extent of the insured's negligence in causing the injury. Explanation: liability in personal injury cases hinges on determining negligence or the insured's failure to exercise reasonable care, which led to the injury. New Jersey follows comparative negligence laws, so an adjuster must evaluate the degree of fault to assign liability accurately. Options A, C, and D are unrelated to establishing negligence. It only B directly addresses the key factor of liability assessment. Question 11. In New Jersey, when an adjuster investigates a claim involving damage caused by a third-party contractor, what should the adjuster consider regarding the contractor's role in the loss? A. The adjuster should ignore the contractor's role and focus only on the insured's policy coverage. B. The adjuster should assess the contractor's liability and consider subrogation if the contractor is at fault. C. The adjuster should settle the claim immediately without investigating the contractor's responsibility. D. The adjuster should refuse to consider the claim until the contractor's insurance provides a statement. Answer: B. The adjuster should assess the contractor's liability and consider subrogation if the contractor is at fault. Explanation: if a third-party contractor is involved in a loss, an adjuster must investigate their role and, if applicable, pursue subrogation to recover costs from the contractor or their insurer. Ignoring the contractor's role, option A, or prematurely settling the claim, option C, would overlook the insurer's right to recovery. Delaying the claim unnecessarily, option D, would also be inappropriate under fair claims practices. Question 12. An insured individual in New Jersey submits a claim for theft of a valuable piece of jewelry. The policy covers the loss, but it includes a $5,000 limit for jewelry theft. The item was appraised at $12,000. What should the adjuster do to handle this claim? A. Approve the claim and pay the full $12,000. B. Deny the claim due to the high value of the item. C. Approve the claim but limit the payout to $5,000 based on the policy terms. D. Request additional documentation to avoid paying any amount. Answer: C. Approve the claim but limit the payout to $5,000 based on the policy terms. Explanation: policies with specific coverage limits for items like jewelry may cap the amount payable regardless of the item's value. Since the theft limit for jewelry is $5,000, the adjuster should pay this amount. Paying the full value, option A, or denying the claim, option B, contradicts policy terms, while D delays appropriate settlement. Question 13. Under New Jersey regulations, what is required of an adjuster if they become aware of new evidence that may affect the outcome of an already closed claim? A. Ignore the evidence as the claim is closed. B. Immediately reopen the claim to consider the new evidence. C. Contact the insured to discuss the new evidence and offer to reopen the claim if necessary. D. Only act if the insured contacts the adjuster regarding the evidence. Answer: C. Contact the insured to discuss the new evidence and offer to reopen the claim if necessary. Explanation: if new evidence arises that could impact a closed claim, the adjuster has an ethical duty to consider it and inform the insured. Simply ignoring it, option A, is unethical, and B, could be premature without consulting the insured. Waiting for the insured to reach out, D, would also be inappropriate under fair claims handling standards. Question 14. In New Jersey, what must an adjuster do if they identify a policy exclusion that clearly applies to a submitted claim? A. Deny the claim and provide the insured with a written explanation based on the exclusion. B. Ignore the exclusion and process the claim to maintain good customer relations. C. Approve the claim but reduce the payout. D. Contact the insured and offer a settlement despite the exclusion. Answer A. Deny the claim and provide the insured with a written explanation based on the exclusion explanation, just as are required to adhere to policy terms including exclusions. If an exclusion applies, the claim should be denied with a clear written explanation. Ignoring the exclusion, option B, or offering a partial payout, option C, would be improper, and offering a settlement, D, would disregard policy terms. Question 15. In New Jersey, which of the following describes an ethical responsibility of an adjuster when dealing with a claimant who is unrepresented by legal counsel? A. Advise the claimant to accept the settlement offer without further consideration. B. Explain the claim process and answer questions without providing legal advice. C. Recommend that the claimant hire an attorney to avoid any misunderstandings. D. Avoid answering questions from the claimant to protect the insurer's interests. Answer B. Explain the claim process and answer questions without providing legal advice. Explanation. Adjusters should assist claimants by providing clear information about the process without advising them on legal matters. Offering legal advice or suggesting an attorney, options A and C, is beyond an adjuster's role, and avoiding claimant questions, D, could create unnecessary barriers to a fair settlement. Question 16, scenario-based. A hailstorm causes damage to a residential property and the insured files a claim. During the inspection, the adjuster notes prior unrepaired damage unrelated to the recent storm. How should the adjuster handle the claim? A. Include the unrepaired damage in the estimate since it is part of the overall repair cost. B. Only assess and estimate the damage caused by the recent hailstorm. C. Deny the claim due to the pre-existing damage. D. Include a portion of the prior damage to account for combined repair needs. Answer B. Only assess and estimate the damage caused by the recent hailstorm. Explanation. Adjusters should focus on assessing the damage directly related to the covered peril, in this case the hailstorm, including unrelated prior damage. Option A or D, or denying the claim, option C, would not align with proper claims handling practices for covered perils. Question 17. When handling a claim, an adjuster in New Jersey encounters a situation where multiple policies might provide overlapping coverage for the same loss. What is the adjuster's primary responsibility? A. Process the claim under all policies and let the insured choose the best settlement. B. Determine the primary policy and coordinate with other insurers for a fair settlement. C. Deny the claim until the insured decides which policy to use. D. Apply only the highest limit policy and disregard others. Answer B. Determine the primary policy and coordinate with other insurers for a fair settlement. Explanation. In cases of overlapping coverage, the adjuster should identify the primary policy and work with other insurers as necessary to ensure fair and coordinated claim handling. Allowing the insured to choose option A or delaying the claim, option C, would be improper, and applying only one policy, D, could neglect valid coverage. Question 18. An adjuster is reviewing a business interruption claim in New Jersey. Which of the following should be a primary consideration in determining the claim's value? A. The revenue loss, only excluding any expenses. B. Both lost revenue and necessary continuing expenses during the interruption. C. Only the cost of physical repairs to the business. D. Any income earned by employees during the downtime. Answer B. Both lost revenue and necessary continuing expenses during the interruption. Explanation. Business interruption claims cover not just lost revenue, but also ongoing expenses essential to the business like rent or utilities. Excluding expenses, option A, or limiting consideration to physical repairs, option C, misses key components of business continuity. Employee income, option D, is typically not relevant to the claim value. Question 19. If an insured in New Jersey fails to cooperate during a claim investigation, such as by withholding requested documentation, what action may the adjuster take? A. Deny the claim immediately due to lack of cooperation. B. Attempt to resolve the issue and communicate that failure to cooperate could impact claim processing. C. Ignore the lack of cooperation and proceed with the claim as normal. D. Reduce the claim payout to penalize the insured for non-cooperation. Answer B. The attempt to resolve the issue and communicate that failure to cooperate could impact claim processing. Explanation. When an insured is uncooperative, The adjuster should first try to address the issue, explaining that continued lack of cooperation could affect the claim's resolution. Immediate denial, option A, would be premature, and ignoring non-cooperation, option C, is not practical. Reducing the payout arbitrarily, option D, is improper. Question 20, scenario-based. During a liability claim investigation in New Jersey, an adjuster discovers conflicting witness statements regarding a car accident involving the insured. How should the adjuster handle these discrepancies? A. Choose the statement that best supports the insured's case and proceed accordingly. B. Dismiss both statements to avoid complications in the claims process. C. Collect all statements, assess the credibility of each, and document findings thoroughly. D. Deny the claim due to conflicting information. Answer. C. Collect all statements, assess the credibility of each, and document findings thoroughly. An explanation. An adjuster must handle conflicting statements carefully by documenting all evidence, assessing its reliability, and evaluating the credibility of each witness account without bias. Relying solely on the statement that benefits the insured, option A, or dismissing both statements, option B, would result in incomplete documentation and could skew the investigation. Denying the claim based solely on conflicting information, option D, would be inappropriate without further evaluation. Proper claims handling requires gathering all relevant information and making a fair assessment based on the totality of the evidence. Question 21. Under the New Jersey Insurance Fraud Prevention Act, which of the following actions is required if an adjuster suspects fraudulent activity during a claims investigation? A. The adjuster must directly confront the insured with the suspicion to obtain a confession. B. The adjuster should report the suspicion to the New Jersey Insurance Fraud Prosecutor's Office. C. The adjuster should dismiss the claim immediately to prevent potential fraud payouts. D. The adjuster must refer the case to a private investigator for further examination. Answer. B. The adjuster should report the suspicion to the New Jersey Insurance Fraud Prosecutor's Office. Explanation. In New Jersey, the Insurance Fraud Prevention Act mandates that suspected insurance fraud be reported to the state's Insurance Fraud Prosecutor's Office. Adjusters do not directly confront insureds about suspected fraud, option A, nor do they unilaterally dismiss claims, option C, or automatically refer cases to private investigators, option D. Proper procedures ensure that investigations are handled lawfully and ethically. Question 22. When assessing damages for a commercial property claim, which of the following valuation methods would generally apply if the policy specifies replacement cost value, or C, the depreciated value of the property at the time of the loss? B. The fair market value of the property, accounting for location and demand. C. The cost to repair or replace the property with materials of similar kind and quality. D. The insured's original purchase price of the property. Answer. C. The cost to repair or replace the property with materials of similar kind and quality. Explanation. Replacement cost value. RCV is the cost to repair or replace property using similar materials without depreciation. The depreciated value, option A, applies to actual cash value SEV policies. Fair market value, option B, and the original purchase price, option D, are irrelevant to RCV calculations. Question 23. An adjuster in New Jersey receives a liability claim from an insured business that experienced a break-in leading to customer data theft. Which of the following types of liability coverage is most likely to apply? A. Premises liability. B. General property coverage. C. Cyber liability insurance. D. Workers' compensation. Answer. C. Cyber liability insurance. Explanation. Cyber liability insurance provides protection for data breaches and data loss involving sensitive customer information. Premises liability, option A, pertains to physical injuries or accidents on the property. General property coverage, option B, covers physical damage to the insured's premises, and workers' compensation, option D, is for employee-related injuries or illness. Question 24. In New Jersey, when an adjuster is handling a property claim involving water damage, which of the following sources of water damage would typically be excluded under standard property insurance policy? A. Sudden and accidental burst of a pipe. B. Flooding due to heavy rain and overflow of nearby rivers. C. Water damage from firefighting efforts. D. Accidental discharge from a malfunctioning appliance. Answer. B. Flooding due to heavy rain and overflow of nearby rivers. Explanation. Standard property insurance policies usually exclude flooding from external sources like rivers or heavy rainfall. Coverage for such flooding requires A separate flood insurance policy. Sudden and accidental bursts. Option A. Water damage from firefighting efforts. Option C. An accidental discharge from appliances. Option D. Are generally covered if accidental. Question 25. Scenario-based. Sarah, an adjuster, is working on a workers' compensation claim for a warehouse employee who was injured while lifting heavy boxes. During her investigation, she learns that the employee did not report the injury until 2 weeks after it occurred. How should Sarah proceed? A. Dismiss the claim because it was not reported immediately. B. Process the claim but note the delay and evaluate its potential impact on the injury. C. Require the employee to provide a written explanation of the delay before proceeding. D. Deny the claim based on New Jersey's immediate reporting requirements. Answer B. Process the claim but note the delay and evaluate its potential impact on the injury. Explanation: in New Jersey, a delay in reporting may raise questions about the injury, but does not automatically disqualify a worker's compensation claim. The adjuster should document the delay and assess if it affects the injury's cause and severity. Dismissing or denying the claim without proper investigation, options A and D, is inappropriate. Question 26. Which of the following describes the principle of indemnity as it applies to insurance policies in New Jersey? A. The insured receives compensation in excess of the loss to account for inconvenience. B. The insured is returned to the same financial position they were in before the loss. C. The insured can recover more than the loss to ensure full compensation. D. The insured pays premiums based on the level of risk they want covered. Answer B. The insured is returned to the same financial position they were in before the loss. Explanation: the principle of indemnity in insurance ensures the insured is compensated only up to their pre-loss financial position, preventing profit from insurance claims. Options A and C suggest overcompensation, which violates indemnity. Option D refers to risk-based premium calculation unrelated to indemnity. Question 27. An adjuster finds that an insured has a business owner's policy BOP covering property damage, but there's a claim for personal injury from libel. Which coverage under the BOP would typically address this claim? A. Commercial property coverage. B. General liability coverage. C. Personal auto coverage. D. Inland marine coverage. Answer B. General liability coverage. Explanation: a BOP generally includes general liability coverage, which may cover personal injury claims such as libel or slander. Commercial property. Option A covers physical assets. Personal auto. Option C is for vehicle-related claims, and inland marine. Option D covers property in transit. Question 20. An insured files a claim under the homeowner's insurance for damage caused by an earthquake. What is the adjuster likely to find regarding coverage? A. The claim will be covered fully under the homeowner's policy. B. Earthquake damage is excluded under standard homeowner policies unless an endorsement is added. C. The policy will cover only a portion of the damage. D. Earthquake damage is covered automatically under all homeowner policies in New Jersey. Answer B. Earthquake damage is excluded under standard homeowner policies unless an endorsement is added. Explanation: standard homeowner policies exclude earthquake damage unless an endorsement or separate policy is purchased. Without such coverage, earthquake-related claims are not covered, contrary to options A and D. Partial coverage. Option C is incorrect, as exclusions apply fully. Question 29. Which of the following best describes the New Jersey Fair Claims Practices Act's main objective? A. To regulate adjuster licensing and educational requirements. B. To set guidelines ensuring fair and prompt handling of insurance claims. C. To standardize premium rates across the state for all insurers. D. To promote competition between insurance companies in New Jersey. Answer B. To set guidelines ensuring fair and prompt handling of insurance claims. Explanation: the Fair Claims Practices Act ensures insurers handle claims fairly, transparently, and efficiently. It is not concerned with licensing, option A, setting premium rates, option C, or competition, option D, but with the protection of consumers in the claims process. Question 30. When handling a liability claim where multiple parties may share fault, an adjuster in New Jersey must consider the state's comparative negligence rule. What does New Jersey's rule mean in such a case? A. A claimant can only recover damages if they are found to be less than 25% at fault. B. A claimant can recover damages only if they are not more than 50% at fault. C. The claimant's recovery is reduced by their percentage of fault, regardless of the degree. D. The claimant cannot recover damages if any fault is attributed to them. Answer: B. A claimant can recover damages only if they are not more than 50% at fault. Explanation: New Jersey follows a modified comparative negligence rule, allowing recovery only if the claimant is 50% or less at fault. If fault is greater than 50%, they are barred from recovery. Option C reflects pure comparative negligence, not New Jersey's standard.